Alright, what's going on, you guys? Welcome to Madrid Hub again. I'm your host, Dr. Jota, and today, no, I won't be right in front of the camera because today is Friday, and man, I just wanted to talk, and there's no reason for you guys to see me in front of the camera because I'm the same person, and to me, it's a kind of, more distressful. It's just about talking like in the radio. So today it's gonna be a little bit different. I know that you guys, some of y'all, not all, but some of y'all really like to see me on camera, but not today. You will have to wait until Monday. Okay, let's put aside all these jokes and kidding and stuff, and let's just start talking about the most important thing, which is of course Real Madrid. We have a bunch of news we have to talk about. Let me get started with the last update on the possible injury that Hazard got last night against France. As you know, Roberto Martinez, right after the game in the press conference, said that he had something but still don't know what is going to happen. Okay, let me tell you the latest news we have on Eden Hazard, because apparently it is not big deal. Apparently he only needs to rest a little bit. As you know, after the defeat of Belgium, they will be playing the third position against Italy next Saturday, because of course France qualify for the final that will play against Spain. But the thing is, Hazard won't be there because he only needs to rest a little bit. And although it is not big deal, it is always a concern every time we hear something about Eden Hazard and injuries, because you don't really know what can happen. But apparently it's not big deal. So let me tell you all, guys, you don't have to be worried about him. I think that the next week just resting and just doing nothing, my opinion is, will be enough to see him back on track and recover and healing and stuff like that. So not big deal, not so important, because at first we thought it was going to be bad, but apparently it's not a great thing. So to me, Hazard will be back as soon as possible. And let me tell you what, it is the best thing can happen to him, because if on top of the other things that he struggled with, he turns out in another injury, man, that'd be a kind of game over for him, right? Because I mean, this third season, it is critical for him in Real Madrid, and if he gets another injury, to me, that'd be like I said, like game over, and it's done in Real Madrid. So that is as far as Eden Hazard. So now let me get back to that Belgium-France, that incredible game. Super exciting game, because Belgium was winning 2-0, and all of a sudden, I mean, Mbappe and Kylian Mbappe and Karim Benzema, they flipped over completely the whole game, and they delivered the victory for France in a kind of crazy end of the game. It was just amazing, because Benzema was able to score one goal, Kylian Mbappe scored another goal and assisted in the first goal, I think it was, and then Theo Hernandez scored the third goal, and it was kind of crazy and hectic game. And to me, it is important to highlight the best couple, the good connection we can see between Kylian Mbappe and of course Karim Benzema. And it is not just about on the field, but also off the field. These guys, have built a very good and strong and a very solid relationship. And to me, it is a very positive thing that these guys are good friends now, because all the things we are seeing from both of them in the national team of France, that is something that very soon we are going to see in Real Madrid as well. And of course, I don't have to tell you how important it is for everybody to have two of the most important players, two of the most important attackers getting along and having a good relationship, building up something really beautiful, not only for the good of them, but also for the big picture, for the good of Real Madrid. Because of course, in the future, I have no doubt that these players will be playing together, and what I wanted to highlight is the good relationship they are building up in the national team of France, and of course all Los Madridistas all around the world are right now looking forward to see them, both of them, in Real Madrid playing together and doing the great things they are doing right now in the national team of France, but in Real Madrid. That is so important. Actually, right after the game, Belgium-France, there is some footage from within the locker room where you can see the Kylian Mbappe and Karim Benzema dedicating each other kind of gestures and signals that they have a very good relationship. They are very, good friends, good teammates, getting along every time and showing it every time they have the opportunity. And to me, that is so important because it confirms the good relationship that they have, basically. So it is a very good thing for Los Madridistas, of course. There's no doubt about that. So now let me move forward and let's talk now about what Giuseppe Pedrerol said last night in El Chiringuito. And this is just a, kind of theory of Giuseppe Pedrerol, because he doesn't know for sure exactly what is the reason why Kylian Mbappe's mother came out to Le Parisien to say what she said, which is pretty much that they are in talks to PSG about the renewal contract offer. She didn't rule out the possibility for the young player to renew his contract with PSG. But according to Giuseppe Pedrerol, that would be due to the, right now Kylian Mbappe's mom is really concerned about what the reaction of PSG fans is going to be. So according to Giuseppe Pedrerol, the only reason why she spoke out, it was because she wants to protect his son. And of course, and when everybody is assuming that Kylian Mbappe will sign a contract for Real Madrid really soon, maybe in January, what she wants to happen is that nobody else notice it. So the PSG fans' reaction is not so hard and so mean against his son. And of course, once he gets back from France to Paris Saint-Germain, the fans don't just blast him, you know what I'm saying? So she is essentially trying to protect his son from all the attacks and trash talk from the Paris Saint-Germain fans, because she's, a little bit concerned about how hard the reaction of the Paris Saint-Germain fans is going to be, right? So just because she's very concerned, that's why she spoke out to say, hey, he wants to play in Real Madrid, but of course, this is something that is not done, and we are actually still talking to PSG and see how these things can work out for both of us and things like that. She was more like, smoother and softer just to protect Kylian Mbappe, but not because she really wants him to stay in Paris Saint-Germain. And actually she doesn't. Because last summer, she, alongside his lawyer, they were the two of the three, because his father was thinking the other way. She was the one supporting his signing for Real Madrid alongside his lawyer, right? So my opinion is she will support the departure of Kylian Mbappe to Real Madrid, but she doesn't want to, fuel the madness or fuel the angriness of the PSG fans towards Kylian Mbappe. So that is exactly that is essentially what Giuseppe Pedrerol wanted to share with all of us. In my opinion, is pretty much the same. I agree with him, and of course, I do think his mom is trying to, not to undermine, but trying to look down all this thing and try to say, hey, okay, he wants to play for Real Madrid, but let's see, because nothing is sure yet, and we we'll look through this because we still don't know, and things like that, So to me, it makes a lot of sense. And of course, I do agree with Giuseppe Pedrerol in this kind of weird theory. That is regarding to Kylian Mbappe. And now let's move forward and let's talk about this guy, super young guy from Real Madrid, inferior categories in Real Madrid. His name is Julen John Guerrero. And of course, has been named like one of the most promising players in the world according to The Guardian. So that is important for Real Madrid because this guy is a super young guy, midfielder. He he handled both legs incredibly good. Although he's lefty, apparently he can play with the right leg incredibly good as the left one. And of course, it is a guy with a lot of vision and anticipation, and he can create a lot of danger. He normally moves right after the striker, right behind the striker, so that'd be like attacking midfielder or something like that. He is, he has a very good relationship with the goal, so he is able to score very easily. There's no trouble for him to score. He tries to shoot on target every time he has a chance. So it is a very promising player. And let me tell you what, these kind of players are good for Real Madrid, because if you don't find anything, if you don't find anybody similar in the market, of course, it is important for you to have these kind of players in your inferior categories, just because you can utilize him every time you need him. And it is not only Julian Guerrero, but also Antonio Blanco was the same way. Miguel Gutierrez was raised the same way. Marvel is being raised in the same way. Marvin, Sergio Arribas. We have a bunch of names in the inferior categories of Real Madrid right now with the youngsters that, in my opinion, will have a lot of chances to play in the first team of Real Madrid. And let's see what happens, man, because if these guys are able to succeed in Real Madrid, to me, they will be important for the future, maybe the near future. I'm not saying tomorrow, but maybe in the near future, say a couple years or something like that. And of course, those positions in the midfield are the kind of positions we are in really need of. If you think about it, we have to Luka Modric, Toni Kroos, these kind of players who might be retired in about, say, 2 to 3 years. So we need replacements, we need substitutes, and of course, these kind of players like Julian Guerrero and others are very important for Real Madrid. Also, Sergio Arribas, which is, in my opinion, one of the most skillful and talented players that Real Madrid youngsters have never had in the last years. You know what I'm saying? So that's why it's very important for us. And this, this thing that The Guardian naming him like one of the most promising players, it is of course a very good thing. But let me tell you what, in my Spanish channel, I talked about him like months ago before he was named like that by The Guardian. So it's a player that I've been, tracking and monitoring for a long time. I know him very well. I actually know his father. His father was Julian Guerrero, a very important player in the 90s, but in Athletic de Bilbao. He was very close to sign for Real Madrid in the mid-90s, but he didn't. But anyways, the player is playing for Real Madrid, and that is very good news for all of us. So now let me know your thoughts about that. Just comment in the section below, and of course, subscribe my channel, Real Madrid Hub.